Hello, collective. Happy Thursday, the 17th. So for the word scramble today, I'm just going to give you the highlights. There's your ops wanted this money more than their own breath. Yeah, if they had a choice, they'd probably just take the money and be lying on the floor unconscious from today's letters. Because they wanted the funds over their own breath, which is like, wow. Yeah. Be ready for a fast new start. You got to know that. Some of you are being tested. There's these Yodas coming down the charts, and this is the fast new start. These messages will help you. One of them's coming from a very reputable spiritual source. Might be your divine bodyguard. Might be, a passed over one, and it's coming right to the sun tonight. Okay, because we have a 25-degree Libra sun and a 5-degree Taurus moon. So that's coming tonight, and then you get another one from the family, which is a secret too. Coming down here to the sun. Yeah, that's Uranus right there. The 12th house, it's going to hit the sun tonight too. So whatever these two messages are from the past over ones, that's going to be huge for whatever they're talking about, because we have another board meeting tonight. Yeah. The square broke up a little bit, but we still have two payments, and one involves the sun, this Libra person, and one involves the moon, this Taurus person. Okay, this coven, because it's 11th house. This coven, that thoughts and plans. See, thoughts and plans with other people's money. Yeah, Pluto. So yeah, Moon, Pluto, Mercury is one. And then the major one with the sun that's due is this Mars. Anytime Mars and the sun are in aspect, that's a pretty big deal. So that payment's a big deal for the universe, and it involves Pluto too, which that's two planets for war. You see, that's Scorpio and Aries, right there, boom, these two. And then of course the sun sitting there in Libra. Those two payments are due tonight. And then collective, you sit here with this nice little trine. You had to war too, but you got points for the universe for the war that you participated in with Mars. Mars did too. Higher vibration Mars, absolutely. These two divine masculine and feminine, they got a reputable spirituality for everyone to, you took the roof off and said, well, hey, I just want to talk about a few things here, that the ancestors, the wisdom, and you invited every walk of life. And that's, universe loved that. Absolutely loved it. So you get the grand trine for that. And then there's this meeting going on. The meeting is going to involve some kind of transformation of a female, okay, that's in war with this family, because that's Uranus. So you got Uranus, Pluto, Venus, and Mars at that meeting tonight. But your ancestors are all the way around there. Yeah, all the way. It's a pretty big deal. The other ones are Venus. You might start a new venture. Venus might start this new venture from today's letters with her father. I thought that was interesting. And you're feeling the curse melt for the first time. You're feeling it. And that's the years of abuse. It's severed. Yeah, this years of abuse. If you're breaking a curse and you're paying attention to these readings for some tips on that, you're starting to feel it with this full moon Aries. Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, and it's saying Taurus. But it started tonight. It's absolutely beautiful. The moon is absolutely gorgeous out there. Usually a full moon is always like the opposite signs, but it goes, into those initial degrees of Taurus for sure. But yeah, usually because the sun's in Libra, then the moon for the full will be the Aries. But see, we're toward like the end of the month. So yeah, so it went into Taurus, but yeah, it's pretty awesome. There's another ancestor that ordered a fast tower. There's some kind of ancestor that ordered this fast tower. And then a boss is stunned at this cost. There's some kind of bill due from this at the end of the year. So a boss is stunned at this cost due at the end of the year. Yeah. So anyway, I just want to share a few of those with you. So ancestors, please be here. I know you're busy. You're probably starting the board meeting already. Send your liaison. Send the one to bring the wisdom for this reading. Ancestors, I love you so much. And then Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, if you're not in a meeting or doing an incredible amount of work for the collective, please be here. Jesus, high as ascendant master. I can't do it without you. Love you. We need your wisdom for this reading. Thank you. And then I've got Mary still lit. Bless the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. Hail Mary, full of grace. We love you, Mary. Yeah, collective. So let me show you the cards. This is a pretty good little read here. I thought this was a karmic center, but apparently not. So 5:27 on the clock. So we've got this 25-degree Libra sun for the center of the reading. And we also have for October 17th a star card. So some kind of star that's in the sun is receiving from this moon in Taurus, 5 degrees, a chariot. So there is some kind of relief coming for this star. Or maybe if it's a karma, if it turns out karmic, this would be some kind of like borders and safeties coming for a star. So we'll have to find out. And then up here is the Mercury, who gets the Empress card tonight, 6 degrees Scorpio. And then down here, we've got Venus and Mars. Now, Venus gets this Hierophant, the coven or the group or the club, high religious order. And then Mars gets the Tower tonight. Yeah, so Tower's out here tonight. And then the poor Jupiter has to be hangman, you know, and he's the one that wants to expand everything. And then Saturn tonight gets the Emperor. So he's been pretty quiet. We'll see if he'll give us any updates. And then Uranus has this paralysis with the devil over here, 26 degrees Taurus retrograde. And Neptune has the star again, wants to talk about a teaspoon, just a teaspoon. And then Pluto swears up and down that you're in a David Lynch movie. He's the one that did Blue Velvet and Twin Peaks. They're just these creepy movies about psychopaths, so Pluto's going to explain. And then up here's your destiny. We've got this magician and the wheel, so... Yeah, and there's a gateway. There's a gateway. If you're being tested by the ancestors, I want you to pass these tests, okay? You know, I shared with you one that I went through with the contract. You know, I feel like we're jumping more hoops. The one I got today was kind of cool. It was a download I got, so I'm going to share it with you because I want you to pass the test too. Okay, so I wanted to meet my divine bodyguard, okay? Well, I got to meet my divine bodyguard, and I don't know if you've had like hugs on the 3D hugs, you know, hugs. But if you had a karmic family that you're trying to break a curse, you've experienced lots of these karmic hugs where they're just kind of awkward and like, oh, you know what I mean? And then, oh, okay. This wasn't like that when I met this divine bodyguard. It was like, oh my gosh, like we fit. Like when this person hugged me, it was like, wow. I had never had that kind of fit in a hug before. And then we look the same, like our bone structure and stuff. So I was like, wow. So that'd be pretty cool if that's part of your test, you know, is to meet these people protecting you. And while we were there, the Most High, his energy came in to where we were meeting. And I've never associated Most High with like a person or, you know, I always feel his energy. I think his energy is so great and huge that we'd be blown away if he showed up, but I definitely could feel his energy there. And it felt like the Christmas Story, you know, by Charles Dickens, where Ebenezer gets to meet like the ghost of the past, the present, and the future. It felt like that moment today, just when I was meditating. And they took me, Most High and this divine, to a courtroom. They took me to a courtroom because I wanted to know about how this is going to turn out for Collective, you know. And your ops were there. Your whole family was there in this courtroom with a judge. And when I showed up, they wanted me to announce myself. Okay. Wow. Because I do. And not one of your family members claimed to know who I was. Nobody in that courtroom claimed to know who I was. Okay. Now this is the room that, you know, they're stealing the assets. Not one of them knew who I was. So I was like, wow. So we kind of like blurred out of that. Okay. Because Most High wanted me to see that. Like if you walked in the courtroom at this point in time, that's what would happen. Nobody would know who you were. They would gaslight everybody and say, we don't know who that person is. That's how diabolical this experiment is, whatever this is. I mean, you know, some things were stolen from you, but a lot of you just feel like, well, this is just invasive of my personal, you know, my First Amendment rights, privacy, you know, because you know you're like under like, what is she doing now? But that's okay. So before I could ask that question, the Most High asked me a question. He says, what would you like me to do? Now that was the test, see? Because if Most High asks you that, there's a wise way to answer that question, okay? Because a less mature spiritual person would immediately say, well, bring us the justice. Dispatch, the people to put the cuffs on these people, to shut the door on these people. Okay, that's what a spiritually upset person would, ask that of the Most High. By the mercy of Jesus, please. No, the correct answer, the King Solomon answer to that, like, what would you like me to do, is stay right here by my side always. That's how you should answer that question. Because without your divine bodyguard and without the Most High, you wouldn't have got this far. You see what I mean? So that pleases the Lord when you respond in a way that's outside of what you really want to say. What you really want to say is, can we move on? But the correct, wisest way is to say, look, stay. And it was so cool because I had it during the day. So I came over to the window, and while they were telling me this stuff, like the bird was like, just piercing, like you could hear this bird just pierce with his call, So I knew what they were telling me was quite accurate. And it was beautiful because I'm trusting nature right now. I'm trusting karma right now. To send him dispatch Most High to work on my behalf would interrupt what is the natural process is right now with this full moon. You know what I mean? It would be questioning his plan. And that's not the way to respond to that, see? Because we trust him. We trust him. So anyway, I wanted to share you, in case you're tested, because your divine bodyguard might ask you this, or your ancestors, your bloodline, and you can meet them. And it'll fit just like, it's the coolest feeling. It's unlike any karmic hug that you endured on the 3D ever. It's so worth to ask, hey, can I meet people in my bloodline? Because you're like, wow, you're like the same height, and it's just really cool. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you. And I already showed you the cards, right? I think I did. Yeah. Okay. So let's find out what this star is doing in the sun tonight. Oh, the other thing I asked, I need to tell you this part of the download. I asked about people telling a lie. Like, are our eyes going to turn red? Or if somebody types a lie, because they're just hammering it right now. It's like, just stop. Will the text that they type turn red? Is there a way in the future we'll be able to identify these liars? And apparently, you're going to be able to purchase an electronic signature in the future. And this electronic signature is just like a control with your keyboard that you've purchased under high security that you just start like if you want to open it to post, you open it with that control key. And if you want to post something or do an email, you open it every time you want your signature at the bottom, see? Because it will include the last 5 strands of your DNA by your signature. And you purchase this in the future, because the last 5 strands are what were added as your upgrade, see? So a lot of that will speak for itself, not only for your bloodline, but for whether you're telling the truth. Because you wouldn't have got as far ascended if you hadn't have been truthful. Do you see what I mean? So that's pretty cool. That's really cool. If you're worried about that, because I was starting to worry about that. I'm like, my God, you're going to have to give the 3rd degree to everybody you meet. If you're having to intermingle with these people, it's not really over yet, but right now you have to. And so how do you protect yourself, So electronic signature for the future. I love it. I love it. I love it. Wow. I rattled on and on, guys. It was just an interesting day. It was an interesting day. I lost internet for like 2 hours today. So that's happened, where they'll do their, whatever. So I decided to meditate, just lay down. And so I closed my eyes, and next thing I knew, I was getting all this cool information, from the past over ones. And I thought, wow, This is what the Yoda feels like. Is when you get to experience that, you're getting one of these blessings. See, one of these dotted green lines. It came right to the sun from the family. So you got one coming from the secret. It's a secret from your ancestors tonight, and it's some kind of really reputable spiritual advice to the sun tonight. So that's what you want to look for, you know. And it'll happen kind of weird because it'll interrupt your normal, if you have a routine, or you know, it'll kind of interrupt something you normally do, and then that's when you know, okay, something must be coming down the pipe. So that's how you can prepare for it. So there's some kind of battery. They're low on batteries right now. Your ops are pretty low on batteries right now. They don't like the position you're in. They feel like you, I don't know, they don't like how you moved to this like best chummy with they don't like that. They think it's not fair that you know. Well, I tell you, when you're deserted or abandoned, you'll make friends with the four walls around you. And I just happen to have some really cool people that came to say, I love you. And I thought, wow, that's what I needed to hear. Because when you're thrown away, like Collective was thrown away, you know, these storylines are not friendly. Like they didn't see any value of you even breathing here. You know, you were a waste of skin. Yeah, that's how they felt about you. And then they were stealing from you and making fun of you. And so to retreat and to just like, okay, I dig it. Okay, I'm gonna see what I can tap into. That's love. You know, that's the highest love right there. They hate it. They hate it. So for this sun card, yeah, the shadows in the cave became the reality, okay? For the 25 degrees Libra sun tonight. Because if you were in a cave right now, your only reality would be what the shadows on the walls of the cave. That would be your reality, see? And so it's like your reality was this, you know, I'm going to separate myself, consecrate myself for what I can obtain from the cosmos. And Evander Holyfield. Okay, Evander Holyfield has 25 degrees Libra for his birthday. Evander Holyfield, as you know, is a boxing champion. Okay, now he was done in 2011. I don't know. He had a few years there, like with Mike Tyson and stuff, that was like right in the spotlight. But since then, he's 61 now. He's had to transform quite a bit. So I feel like this sun represents somebody who's seen the cave. Like he literally had to sell one of his mansions. Like they were talking about it online, and it was transitioning from this life that he had to what he was going to become. So he went through a huge transformation, and just imagine giving up all of that to move toward what the Most High had in store for him, this new life. So it's about somebody who's mature enough to get through that and still retain, like, okay, so now he advises boxers, like he's like a coach. But that was probably a difficult time for him to get through that transition. Yeah, he had to adapt to an entirely new lifestyle after that. And then this star card, summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine of my mind. Yeah, that's Seals and Croft. They have this birthday, the 17th, and I think Eminem does too. Happy birthday. So, yeah, summer breeze makes me feel fine. Yeah, they have that birthday today too. So we have to find out what kind of energy this Taurus moon. Now the moon's full, even though this says, usually if it's a Libra sun, you'll have an Aries as the full moon. But it was pretty much full last night in Aries, but see, it went into Taurus, and now it's really full. Like you can go outside and it's just beautiful. It's just hanging in the sky, so pretty. But yeah, about 5 degrees, just those early degrees of Taurus now. And it's a Chariot card. So either somebody's coming toward this and it's saying, what was impossible is now inevitable. So with the train, yeah, it was inevitable that this person come toward the star. Let your borders and safety come toward this person, either if it's karmic or if it's collective. Like, I know you need information, okay? And somebody has to come in and, you know, set a few things straight. So let's find out what's this. Oh, and then 5 degrees Taurus is Al Pacino. Yeah. You want to play rough. Meet my little friend. And then he brings out the machine gun in Scarface. Yeah, Al Pacino. Yeah, you want to play rough. You can meet my little friend. And that's when Collective pulls out like this bow and arrow, this angelic, like, this is the weapon he gives me, is truth, you know. And yeah, so you can be Al Pacino, Indian style. But yeah, he gets his birthday. So tell me what Collective needs to know about this October 17th, this summer breeze makes me feel fine. And that's so Libra too. Whatever it is, it's got a lot of love coming for it. Okay, so I would assume this is a collective star. Yeah, there's a lot of density in the love too. This is real. You'll feel this like the hug of your ancestor. If you ask to meet your bloodline, you'll fit, like you'll just fit, and you'll be like, wow. And to think a lot of you this whole time never even knew your bloodline. It had been so just overrun with demons. Satan's really bored, by the way, too. He's really bored. Okay, so something about the indulgence. Let's find out who's been indulging. He's really bored because he's just sitting back watching your ops just act completely inhumane. They're acting very inhumane. Some of the things they're posting, it's like, just stop. We get it, okay? You hate us. Not a problem. Just stop. They don't it's overkill, you know. And I don't know. It's just, and Satan's just sitting back going, hey, what do you say when they get in jail? We bring them the suitcase of money they want. Just stuff it in the in the bars. Like, what? Yeah. He wants you to go and stuff it in the bars and go, oh, is this what you wanted? Okay, here you go. Bye-bye now. I mean, the guards will treat him good, right? Because we're stuffing it full of money. That's what you wanted, right? Because there'll be nobody there from the bloodline. They destroyed it. You see what I'm saying? That's why Satan's coming to me all bored, because he's watching your ops like overkill. And he's like, hey, like what? It's got to do about this star. Yeah. So this might be your overindulgence of a star, or the happiness. Oh, okay. This is about the love and happiness coming to a star. Oh, that's kind of cool. I was all ready to call it a karmic star, but no, this is you. This is the happiness that you were thrown away. You didn't, you had to make do with your four walls, man. The shadows of the cave were your reality for 25 degrees Libra. That was your reality. You didn't know why. They hated you. And now all of a sudden the universe is like, hey, I want to tell you, we love you. That's pretty cool, huh? And you're going to get some joy again. Because you learned to find it without anybody. See? That's hard. That's really hard. And that was a spiritual test too. Is that self-love? Yeah. Huge. That was a huge part of your spiritual test. Okay, so what's the Chariot gonna, okay, so it's gonna bring Chariot. This was inevitable that you get this joy and this love from the universe because you've lasted this long, okay? Nobody had to do it your way, maybe you all did it a little differently, but definitely you stood apart from your ops severely because your ops are still slinging the mud, they're mudslingers. And the Most High is very pleased how you've responded. You've just, do what you got to do, I guess. But I feel like it's like New Kids on the Block. Whoa, hanging tough. Whoa, hanging tough. Yeah, New Kids on the Block. Are you tough enough? We're rough. Yeah, they were rough on you. Yeah, even if you're now Al Pacino, meet my little friend, man. It's the truth. They didn't want to hear that. It's like, dude, well, don't worry about it. They'll hook you up to the machine. I'm sure you and the machine will jive. What are you worried about? Just I'm just telling some truth, man. Yeah. Whoa. Don't you want to be in the 80s again? Young MC. Yeah, remember Young MC? Okay, so Mercury 6 degrees Scorpio. It's like the Empress shows up in the courtroom. Nobody knows. They gaslight the entire room. They're like, we don't know who you are. What are you doing here? So the Empress shows up for Mercury, and says, I'm alive. So, but 6-degree Scorpio is Henry Winkler, who played the Fonz, you know, Happy Days. Monday, Tuesday, happy days. And, you know, he would say, hey, nice to see you. That's what Fonz would do, right? So that's what the Empress is doing tonight with Mercury, is like, hey, nice to see you. Because they thought she was dead. And you're not. You show up in the courtroom, but they're all gaslighting, you know, the judge is there, and you're like, and then that's when the Most High and my bodyguard pulled me out of that. But they wanted me to see that. Like, that's what might happen if you actually tried to intervene with one of these court hearings. So yeah, it would be, you might as well sit outside, have a cigarette with Satan. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, he's gonna give you more, like, he recognizes you right away. Thanks, dude. He recognizes you right away. But the judge and your family, on the other hand, have no idea who you are. We have no idea who this person is. Oh, okay. All right. Soil. Something might be found in some soil. What's the Empress card doing up in Mercury tonight? 50 years. Oh, there was a curse on the soil. Oh my God. They're telling me there was a curse on this land. If your house had land on it, I don't know if it did or not. Anyway, they were ready to put a 50-year curse on that land if these people didn't adjust this plan. See, this karmic payment. My God, you guys are awesome. Yeah, if they don't pay this with this sun and this Pluto stuff and Mars and this moon and this Mercury and this Pluto, if they don't pay those payments, there was going to be a 50-year curse put on that land. Now, you know, in the color purple, which we talked about last week, Alice Walker had the birthday, Libra. That curse in the color purple, he was trying to grow cotton, and she had cursed the land. Until you make it right with me, I curse everything. I don't know how she said it, but everything you touch will be a heartbreak. It won't. Anything you touch is cursed. And she left because he had abused her, see, in that story. And sure enough, you know, they show this picture of this cotton field and the beetles. It was like locusts, but the beetles had just eaten this cotton up. He had to like burn the whole field because of the beetles. So anyway, what's cool about that story is he did make it right with her. In the newer one that I watched on HBO. I know there's a couple versions of Color Purple. I watched a newer one, which was really kind of cute. It was a musical version of it. But he laid down in a rainy, muddy field, and he was telling the Most High, like, I'll make it. I swear I'll make it right. Because he knew. He knew that was karma for being so mean to that woman. So, they want you to know that if they don't make this right, if those payments aren't made, that land is cursed for 50 years. Wow. It's still saying 50 over there, even after I rattled on and on about color purple. Well, I was trying to remember. I don't remember all of it. But, yeah. So what is okay, so that's the download for that 6-degree Scorpio with the Empress. If they don't put the right Empress on that land who owns that house, then it's cursed. It's cursed. 50 years. Wow. Okay, so let's go over to Jupiter, who is just hanging out. Hangman, he's miserable because the only thing Jupiter's going on, look at this. He sent karma. Jupiter's over here. He sent karma because, well, Saturn, borders and safeties, does not want him to expand right now. So your borders and safeties don't want him to expand on anything right now. Even though he's retrograde going over all this crap. They say just keep a lid on it, Jupiter. Keep a lid on it. Okay? And then Neptune, he's telling me, Jupiter's telling me, I asked to be able to give that to Neptune because I don't want any more gaslighting. Like, Jupiter is sick of the gaslighting because he could never expand it. They were forcing him to expand on something that was completely against the universe. They gaslit you about this whole storyline. You know, like, we don't know what you're talking about. Huh. Well, that's great. And so if anything, Jupiter's like, okay, you're going to make me sit still, Saturn? Okay, fine, I'll sit still. But I get the next one to Neptune. That I'm not going to expand this gaslighting ever. Ever. He hated it for you. It was devastating for him to watch you because it altered your reality. Yeah, it altered your reality. Oh, no, these people aren't trying to kill you. Okay, all right. As your hair's falling out in clumps because, you know, you somehow ingested barium and arsenic. Yeah, just, you know. So he hated that. That was an abuse. Yeah. So he gets his little jab. Jupiter gets his jab, even though Saturn said, no, please, just not yet. So we got to find out why Saturn told him no, because it probably has to do a lot with, you know, the Chariot. So yeah, that's what he wanted to tell you. That's the download on Jupiter, is that he at least told Neptune, look, I can't promote this gaslighting anymore, which wasn't Neptune's fault. Your ops manipulated that planet through black magic. See, that wasn't Neptune's fault. Okay, so let's go over to Venus and Mars. So Venus has this 1 degree Sagittarius degree and gets the Hierophant. Really, really strong card tonight for Venus. And then 23 degrees Cancer for Mars. So for 1 degree Sagittarius, it's smoke a peace pipe. So it's almost like the universe is asking you to not take this too seriously right now for this night. For this night, just smoke a peace pipe. And even if you're hanging out with the coven, yeah, let's just, you know, smoke a peace pipe with them. Yeah. They're not going to come near you. They're scared to death of you. But for Venus, for her to just not take herself too seriously, or her religion too seriously, or take them too seriously, it's just the advice of Venus to just, hey, yo, you know, smoke a peace pipe, kick it. Yeah. Yeah. Never take your life or yourself too seriously. And that's what the advice is for Venus tonight. So what do you want to tell Venus about this Hierophant card? Yeah, Billy the Kid. It's hard to pinpoint Billy the Kid, the Western outlaw, his birthday, because some people say it was November, some people say September, but it actually showed up under 1st degree Sagittarius, so I put it down. But Billy the Kid was this outlaw, you know, and he was, you know, this kid was orphaned, you know. His mom died. He had a really rough life. He only lived to 21. I mean, he barely made it to 21. But the key to that story of Billy the Kid is that the only one he trusted, his friend, Pat Garrett, took him down. The one person he trusted, you know, they were hustling cattle together. And then unbeknownst to him, they had separated for a while. Well, he went into town and he got a badge made of silver. He became a sheriff of Lincoln County. And when he came back, he's the one that shot Billy the Kid. So the one guy that he trusted, you know, because he had skipped out of prison, like that's why he was wanted by the law, is because he escaped prison. But yeah, you read about him and you'll say, well, no, he murdered a bunch of people too. But then you read about his life and you're like, well, wow. He was never given like a fair shake. You know what I mean? Like that kid he couldn't catch a break. It's really a sad. Anyway, so you're getting, for the Hierophant Venus, you're getting this 8 of Pentacles. Your ancestors are appreciating the work you're doing, especially during this spiritual testing. Yeah. Death card. Why am I getting... Okay, there's a wide circle of death around you. Wow. You are in the middle of death. You're like the center of the storm right now while you're working. Oh, okay. So during this meditation, if you meet an ancestor, you can ask them to select an ancestor to help you with your vocation or your religion. You know, you can ask for specific ones. You know, can you give me a guardian over my... You know, if you have trouble with a certain area of your life, you know, because see, some of you, this is going to change your life. Okay. You're going to be more public, and maybe you don't know how to be public after this experience. You're like, well, wow, I don't, you know, how am I going to do that? because you've been so used to, you know, being by yourself. But they will send the right ancestor down to help you with that balance, because they don't want you to forget what you've worked on. That's the download. Your work meant so much to the ancestors that please don't go into this public, this new arena, and forget the bones. This was what made you, the bones, okay? So, awesome. Thank you, guys. Yeah, there is an ancestor for you that will guide you for this, okay? Because you constantly got into contract. You were like Billy the Kid. You were constantly in contract with these low vibration cattle rustlers that did nothing but break out of jail and steal cows. And it's like, you can't do that anymore. And then the one person you trusted shot you. You know what I mean? And so you need that person, that guardian, like, okay, I broke a curse. How do I not go back into that? You know, because you were always the nice one. And now it's like, okay, I'm going to need a guardian to help me navigate. Okay. In Most High saying it's going to be a lot easier than you think, but you can ask for that, because they will send the right. There's one with my son right now that they sent. And it's amazing. Whoever they sent for my son, he's responding to that. I'm like, wow. Because I want him to watch and to learn, but that's all on him. I can't do the work for him. But I could tell when he got his car towed and he was going through that, how he had matured. And I'm like, wow, where's this coming from? Because I was the one getting like, you've got to be kidding. I was the one getting short, you know? No, my son. So whoever they've got on your family or what have you, you can ask. And it's pretty remarkable. So, okay, Mars, what's going on? He thought that you were swimming in the same pool, and you didn't. You ascended. He just thought that was like hippie talk. What'd you think that was? Yeah, he's questioning that. He didn't realize that you had actually ascended. Like, hippie talk. What's that, Mars? He just took a bunch of mushrooms one night and listened to some Purple Haze, Jimmy. Yeah, that's the recommendation. Thank you. I love you. Foxy lady. No, although I love Jimi Hendrix. That's not how it happened, Mars. Part of the ascension was being chosen by the bloodline. You knew if the bloodline was like tugging at you, like, come on now, come on, get out of there. And you're like, okay, all right, I'll quit the job, you know? It's like, because I fought it really hard. Like, I'd work like part-time. No, when he tells you to quit something, they mean it. See? I says, well, look now, I can't give up the smoking, okay? And we're not worried about that, okay? There'll be plenty of time for that. But they told me this part's important. So I like that, because I was worried about that. I thought, that's the one thing I've got. If I'm being attacked, it's like, hey man, I'm cool. I got the cigarette. You're attacking me. Go right ahead. And they really have taught me more about the love and to give up the smoking. But I'm almost there. We'll see. Okay. So Mars doesn't believe that you're... What does Mars want to... He's in a tower. Tell us about this tower. Yahweh, what's this tower? Oh, it's the phone. Yeah, I told you at the last reading that Alexander Bell was going to send there was going to be karma through these misogynists who thought they were better. I didn't know it was a competition. And Alexander the Bell, he invented that lovely thing that you post those evil remarks with. He invented that for a deaf mother and a deaf wife. Yeah, because he's an absolute angel. And what does it get? Yeah, he got karma for what he was posting about you. Or doing on his phone. Yeah, gambling. I don't know what he was doing on his phone. But he got karma for that. Wow. Do you want to tell us anything else? Yeah, it's affecting his stability. And he knows it. Well, I told you, dude, you're abusing something that was a gift from an angel, an invention gifted by an angel who cared about another human being more than himself. That's an angel. I'm going to invent something for that person that's in pain. I want to do something for that person right there. And you stop everything in your life and you help that person because of the situation that you see through your eyes. Wow. He doesn't think like that. And he doesn't understand how you've ascended. Because he's got this going on. And really his leader isn't even with him. Okay. His leader was with me, like bored to tears today. Because he was bored. Your ops are overkill right now. He's just sitting back going, I don't have nothing to do. I'm just watching it play out. So he, they didn't fill the contract. They were supposed to bring you, and they didn't. So he's just kicking it. Yeah, let's go visit him in jail. And I'm like, what are you doing? But yeah, he doesn't even have his leader with him right now. All he has is this lower vibration demon with him. And I don't know if he can talk turkey with that incubus or not. I don't know. I've never had an incubus, but I have danced for many years with the devil. Maybe some of you have, but I learned to balance it. It's like, it is what it is. Nothing will take me away from my call because I have the discipline for it. Like, I know when to laugh at it and when to be scared, like, oh, he's going to pull me off somewhere if I don't be all mean. He's like, yeah, I'd like to see you be mean. He knows. I've just learned, like, look, So, okay, Mars, well, good luck with your incubus. It sounds pretty crappy, but you're getting karma because you abused the phone, dude. Oh my God. Okay, Saturn, help us out. Stand up for what's good and right. If this is an experiment, if this was about resources that were stolen, we just want to know. We want some clarification. A lot of us we've moved on from it. But it would help us. It would help us to get some kind of closure for all of us, because we've all prayed for everyone involved in this. The gang stalking, the financial pains that are purposely put on collective, especially in the South. Saturn says something about the hurricanes. Newt Rockne has that birthday, 13 degrees Pisces. Newt Rockne was 13 years with Notre Dame football. He was a football coach, yeah. 13 seasons with Notre Dame. The reason why I put his name there is because it's 13 degrees Pisces, and this dude spent 13 seasons with Notre Dame, and he led him to 3 national championships. Yeah, he had this really cool saying about sportsmanship, which Mars could really help by hearing this, actually, if he listens. One person practicing good sportsmanship is worth more than 100 trying to teach sportsmanship. It's like, yeah, we can all say, oh yeah, this is how you be a good sportsman. But one person actually doing it is worth more than 100 of those people. Yeah. So I know, collective, you practice good sportsmanship, but Mars didn't, okay? He had karma for it. And at one point, the Most High's like, let it go. Let it go. He's gonna, it was just more rope for him, Okay, Saturn, do you want to tell us about this judgment? Or, yeah, he's pretty quiet. What do you want to tell us? You want to tell us anything, Mars or Saturn? Saturn is, I better use these. These are all turned around weird. Oh, wow. Let's use these. Okay, good sportsman, Saturn. Yeah, Saturn saw all the bad sportsmanship. Like, if this was a game, there would be more flags pulled on your ops. I mean, the field would be littered with flags. Like, that's all you'd see, are these yellow flags all over the football field because of Mars. Couldn't control himself, had no control. How do you think you break this? It's called control. And you give up some stuff. That's why that was one of the first things I said. It's like, do I have to give up? Because I knew my Holy Trinity. I knew what ran my batteries. He says, we're not worried about that right now, but we are worried about you taking this quite seriously. So don't think you can't ascend. Because I smoke pot. I don't think your ancestors care. I think they probably smoke pot, tell you the truth. But if you come from a bloodline that wants to get things right, that doesn't want to keep coming back again and again and again to go through the same painful events, then listen to them. And they will help you break that so that your kids don't go through it. Yeah. Saturn, what do you want to tell us about this? Good sportsmanship. Something about the South and the hurricanes. Oh, safety. A lot of resources are tied up right now with those hurricanes. But they are collaborating. There's some kind of collaboration for an Aries. Okay, he's watching. He's watching this Aries energy and what they're collaborating. What is this Aries energy? Yeah, this is the Aries, I believe, that did use the correct judgment on the star, but we'll find out. What's this? Yeah, this is the one under investigation, okay? And has had some setbacks. The World card, they weren't able to close the cycle, which means they just continue in the wheel until you get it right. And the Aries doesn't like that. Because in their opinion, they went above and beyond. They spent many years on this attack. They knew exactly, this was all orchestrated, okay? It was very, very cleverly orchestrated. Okay, so Uranus, paralysis of reality. Yeah, we get the devil again. He's kind of feeling a little like paused. Remember, he's bored to tears because your ops are overkill. He's just kicking it. He's like, well, just gotta see how this turns out. What do you want to tell us? Uranus, 26 degrees Taurus. Okay, I'll take him. Yeah, this has definitely been exposed, collective. Something about walking away. Okay. That was exposed, which was huge. But because we're in paralysis, it's because, yeah, this Aries energy that there's restrictions put on that came after collective. This Aries, it might have been male or female. It might have been the leader of the coven. It could have been, I don't know, some big fire sign that was attacking you. This could be Leo or Sagittarius too, but the Fool is usually Aries. It's like the forest fire that came over your life, you know? They can't believe this. This is shocking to them. But this plan that they had to walk away from has them really bummed out, okay? Because you survived it. Yeah. And they had to walk away from that. And see, they sat there for a long time waiting for that harvest. They were dreaming, daydreaming, dreaming on the job about what they were going to do with those pentacles. And now they're like that. So that's for... This is a paralysis moment for that 26 degrees Taurus, the secret of the family, because they had anticipated this moment to be like this. Yeah. And it's not. They feel like this. And they don't understand. Like how, what's going on? Wow. Thank you, Uranus. Yeah, it's like a paralysis. If you've ever had a bad muscle cramp, you know, it feels like that to them. Yeah. Okay, what's this Neptune? Teaspoon of what? Okay, there was a musical artist who wrote The Loving Spoonful. John Sebastian wrote Loving Spoonful, which basically is a teaspoon. That's what fits in a spoon, right? It's a teaspoon. And teaspoon always shows up on my little machine. And so I'm like, what? And when you look it up, it's about addictions. Because just a teaspoon of something can make you, can kill you. Might kill you, just a teaspoon of anything. But that's all your ops used was this teaspoon. What's this teaspoon about? They felt, okay. The things that they might have used to harm you or delay you, or they were highly toxic, and a teaspoon should have been enough. But it's like you alchemized it. Wow. Okay, what do you want to tell Collective about this alchemy? Well, some of you are shamans. Some of you are healers, you know? Yeah, I don't want to tell them that story. Yeah, I'm vain. This is the teaspoon. Oh, okay. You're an alchemist because you did that for a long time. And that's kind of your destiny. There must have been some things you learned about, like maybe little secrets, how to heal, little recipes that nobody thinks, or home things that people don't think about to use for. I mean, I've always had to, because I've never had, like, you know, I'm kind of makeshift in the places I get left. So I have to come up with, you know, okay, I'll tell them a story. Okay, so under one of my nails, I started to get some swelling, okay? So I knew right away, oh my God, you know, it's starting to get infected. So I knew what I had to go buy at the grocery store, which is like a $15 tube of whatever, to fight that infection, okay? I was so bummed out last night because I thought, you mean to tell me I'm gonna die of an infection when I've survived this hell? A little infection under one thumb. They'll be like, well, what killed her? I don't know, just an infection under her thumb. I was so angry. But yeah, that's, yeah, beside the point. But yeah, if you have like things that you're used to fighting things, you know, like you'd be surprised, like maybe baking soda. I tried to soak it in Alka-Seltzer because that's all I had. It didn't respond. But there are things to take down swelling. There's things to take out infection, you know. And you find creative ways if you've been deserted. That's why you're a healer, because you were deserted. This is you in the desert. You know, where you had to open the cactus up and get something to drink because there was nothing there. You know, that your ops fail to remember times when you didn't have a bed and it was winter time, okay? And some of you slept in your car. You know, I used to go out and look for, like, you know, at the grammar schools, or they had laundry. So if they were drying something at night, the warm air coming through the outside vent, I could sit by that and stay warm. So I would go, that's how I would stay warm. And it'd be January, because the dude did want me in the house. Yeah, doesn't tell that story. No, just get out of here. Yeah. Oh, okay. Leave your kids and good luck to you. Yeah. They don't tell those stories, but this is why, is what you endured. And they're so proud that you made it this far. Like, that's a long journey. That's a long journey to reappoint yourself continuously, coming up with ways, you know, when you only got $13 in the account. Now you got to go buy some tube of something so you don't die. You know, that's what I was freaking out about. I'm like, you mean to tell me after surviving all this, I'm going to die from some little infection from wearing fingernails? I was pissed. Okay, Pluto, what do you want to tell us? 29 Taurus, illustrate. Yeah, this has that David Lynch, who, if you saw Twin Peaks, you know, Blue Velvet's highly, like, it's sexual. But Twin Peaks was a mystery, but it's bizarre. It's quite bizarre. And David Lynch directed that. So, he would be the type of director that would take, like, Jeffrey Dahmer's character, like, you know, we all know who Jeffrey Dahmer was, right? And, like, have him in a scene where you're opening Jeffrey Dahmer's opening the fridge, and there inside the fridge are all the little organs that he's organized in his Tupperware, that he's harvested from, you know, his prey. Like, oh, there's a kidney. Oh, and there's the heart. Pluto feels like that's what he witnessed with this coven, is like opening the fridge and going, oh, okay. Yeah, whatever Pluto found out about this group of people really was disturbing. It was David Lynch, and he just wants you to know that. Is there anything else to illustrate for Collective on that? I mean, I hope that gives you the visual, but whatever Pluto witnessed, and that's why he's involved in that karmic payment tonight with Mars, Pluto, and the Sun. The Libra owes that tonight, or whoever the Libra is in your storyline, they owe that. because whatever they did, it was over the top. You know, I'm telling you, that's Aries energy. That's Scorpio, Aries. Scorpio, Aries, those are powerful planets. And it's above and beyond war. That's overkill. Just like this is why this dude is hanging out making jokes today, because he's not doing anything. It's your ops. That's how they've lost their nut and bolts. I don't know what's going on. Like, dude, we know you hate why are you still posting? Why are you still fake accounts? Dude, what are they doing? You know? They can't stand the noise. They can't stand the noise it's gonna make. When this gets out on the streets, that they're like Jeffrey Dahmer. Well, you planned it too long, for one thing. Like, why'd you have to gaslight them their whole life? You know, some of you realize, my God, they gaslit me my whole life. Something about making it fair for you. Yeah, there's going to be some fast fairness for you, for enduring that. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, guys. I love my ancestors. I was just belly aching about money. They're like, don't worry, we're sending you money. They're going to send you money, collective. I love you. All right. What do you want to tell us for the destiny? And I'll let them go. Have their awesome night to go look at that full moon. You got to go out there and look at it. It's so beautiful. It's going to blow your mind. It's so beautiful. And tell that moon you love it, man. It's the regulator. Yep. The moon. Highly abused by your ops, by the way. But is regulating this situation tonight. It's pretty awesome, huh? You can feel it. You can feel it. North Node for collective, and this wheel of destiny. Retrograde. The healer's still retrograde. Yeah, the reason why it's retrograde is because your ops insisted that you could be replaced. No. Especially if you're a shaman, you are a healer. And then they throw you away. Well, what are you gonna do with this one? This one can't heal. This one can't heal. Yeah, I'd like to see them use the 5 ingredients in their fridge and make something that's healing. You know, that's what you've learned. Some of you, that's how you learn to survive. You know? Something about this destiny. Oh, so yeah, I got another one here. You offer, first of all, it looks like you're going to be able to be guided by the ancestors. 6 of Swords. And then, why is this one stuck? Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. The ancestors want you to know they're going to make sure that from now on, from here forward, that you maintain this. Because you built this. You did that. Being able to stand on your own. Okay, when everyone threw you away. And you don't look too shabby either, by the way. We have no idea, except for money, why they would throw you away. But the ancestors want to tell you that. That's your ancestor. The Irish immigrant that came over on the Mayflower. You will always be like this, because what you built, the house that collective built. It's a pretty big deal. And then they're going to guide you out of this. They're going to guide you out of that. Very loving, by the way. Supportive. You'll get support. Yeah. Pretty cool, huh? You're going to need it. You're going to need that support. So, yeah. I love you, collective. Happy full moon.